You probably already know that an important metric in data protection is RTO, or Recovery Time Objective. This metric is a fancy way of saying, oh, wait, exactly how long is it going to take until we're back online? Now, sometimes that recovery time objective, or RTO, that you get out of traditional backup and recovery just isn't fast enough for the kinds of mission critical workloads that really shouldn't go down. For these workloads, the ones that need recovery in seconds or minutes instead of minutes or hours, replication is the solution for your requirements. Now, mind you that replication isn't always necessarily the solution for every workload. Comparatively, it's more expensive than just doing backup and recovery. You need a second location. You need VMs in both locations that are constantly being updated. And so you arguably also need more storage and all the other infrastructure pieces like routing and whatnot that ensure your replicated virtual machines can still actually serve your users once they've been failed over. For some environments, that's a tall order, but for others where your RTO requirements are tough to otherwise meet, and the extra cost isn't an issue, a replication offers a pretty slick way to prevent VM workloads from being down for inappropriate amounts of time. And so that's the conversation here for our module on configuring and executing replication jobs here. Now, the really cool part about the replication in Veeam backup and replication is that as of right now, you've more or less already got the data transfer and storage infrastructure in place to support replication. With Veeam, you'll find yourself using many of the same components we've already configured to replicate those VMs. What we now add over the top is the abilities to run these VMs in that alternative location. We need to add things like WAN accelerators to speed up the process. We need to talk a bit about how we actually get the content to that other side, at least initially, right here with this topic on replica seeding and mapping. We also need to add in all the other business logic, the re-IPing of virtual machines if that's necessary, the mapping of one network to the other, so that those virtual machines can power back on and immediately begin functioning once they get to that other side. We also then need to go about creating and then executing those replication jobs, which is the major task here and what we're attempting to accomplish. We'll talk here in great detail about the creation and execution of replication jobs. And then once we've set up that replica and that remote disaster recovery location, we'll then initiate failover to the replica, so actually using it then as our production machine, and then initiate and commit failback to bring the functionality of that virtual machine back from that disaster recovery site.